So shadow work is the process of exploring your inner darkness or shadow self. Shadow work uncovers the parts of you that have been disowned, repressed, and rejected. So we really dive deep into ourselves. We look into the unconscious parts of ourselves that we may have, hidden away. We may subconsciously have parts of our personality that we consider undesirable. And when we do shadow work, like, yes, we're digging deep into ourselves and we're looking at our past pains and traumas, but we also will develop like self-awareness. And they say awareness is 90% of transformation. So simply by being aware of something, you're 90% there. You're only 10% away from having that transformation. So this is why doing shadow work is powerful, and it is worth doing for yourself, because you will come out like it can be ugly. It can get ugly because we can be looking into our past hurts and traumas. But that is part of the process, right? But when you come out the other end, you're going to come out a better version of you. So hey guys, I'm Laura, and I make videos that will awaken your awareness. So I had to cough. So in this video, I'm going to give you 11 benefits for doing shadow work in the hopes that it encourages you to want to start doing shadow work for yourself. I really just want to encourage people to work on themselves and also heal parts of themselves, because when you do this, firstly, like I said, you're going to become a better version of you, but you also will end up raising your vibration to a higher state of being. And when you're in this higher state of being, the reflection you're going to get in your reality is going to be much better, more positive. You're going to have all these benefits. So, firstly though, before I run into the 11 benefits, there's 3 things that help with shadow work, okay? Or 3 things that we kind of got to look at and pay attention to. The first one is projection. So everyone has a shadow self that they're projecting onto other people. And most people don't even realize that that's what they're doing. And that's just due to a lack of self-awareness, which isn't anyone's fault. I believe it's because of the society we're brought up in. We're not taught about this stuff. I honestly believe we're purposely being kept in the dark with this sort of thing. I'm not going to go into the conspiracy rant, but I do think we're purposely being suppressed spiritually, and so it's not anyone's fault that they lack this self-awareness, but it is something that people do. They're out in the world and they're projecting their shadow selves onto other people, and they just don't realize it. So we've got to start learning or being more mindful around our own shadows and projecting them onto other people. Now, the other thing you need to look at is triggers. So whenever you're being triggered by someone, that trigger is the clue as to what needs to be healed within you. There's something like underlining that is causing you to be triggered, that you need to work that trigger to figure it out, right? So see, if you're feeling triggered, you need to start looking at the triggers as like your friend. They're here to show you something. They're here to teach you. In the moment, you may be getting upset or angry, but you kind of need to just have that awareness, or just remember to say, hang on a minute, why am I being triggered right now? Start questioning yourself on that trigger. Why am I being triggered right now? What's the underlining reason here? You know what I mean? Start really working with that trigger. And the third thing is you need to start being mindful when it comes to patterns that are playing out in your life. So an example of a pattern that's playing out in my life is I attract in these narcissistic men, and I've learnt why, okay? So I've been doing my own shadow work or inner work and healing and all that, so that now I understand why I'm attracting these narcissistic men in, and it's a pattern that's playing out. But the pattern that's playing out is also reflecting my relationship I had with my dad as a kid. So as a kid, my dad abandoned me, physically abandoned me. He was emotionally unavailable. You know, he wasn't there, and I would assume, because I didn't really have much to do with my dad because he lived in a different country, but I'd assume he probably had narcissistic tendencies as well. And so the pattern that's playing out for me is like I'm attracting in guys that are reflecting the relationship I had with my dad, because we attract in things like like things that are familiar to us from childhood, even if it's not what we want. So we have to start being mindful about what sort of patterns are playing out in your life, and start working with that as well. And the other thing I wanted to point out is when you do shadow work, you do have to visit your childhood. That's what it really stems from, because your childhood created pretty much, helps create this shadow part of you. So you've got to revisit your childhood and have compassion for yourself, love and compassion for yourself, and you'll just become such a better person for this. So, but it can get a bit tricky, or it can get a bit ugly, and it can be, upsetting when you're revisiting these things. But just know that it's going to be beneficial in the long run, and once you go through the process, you will come out a better person. So I'm going to jump into the 11 benefits of doing shadow work, and hoping to just encourage you to be like, yo, this actually sounds like it would be a good thing to do, So the first thing is it will help you to find your purpose in life. So when it comes to finding your purpose in life, that requires having, self-awareness. And like I said, you develop self-awareness doing shadow work. So you also just start learning about yourself, as in like, what excites you, what motivates you, things like that. So that's positive, trying to figure out your purpose in life, because we all have a purpose. We're all here for a reason. Now, the second one is more courage to face the unknown. As you do shadow work and you're getting to know yourself on a deeper level, you will naturally just start having more confidence within yourself. And because you have more confidence, you're just going to have the more courage to face the unknown. The third one is more confidence to be your true self. So that's just showing up as the authentic you, because we have, lived or been socially conditioned to hide certain parts of ourselves so that we mold ourselves to fit in with our peers to what's considered normal by society. And obviously that's the wrong thing to do. We want to be showing up as our true authentic selves. And when you do that, that's when you attract in the people that are your people that are in alignment with you. If you're hiding your true parts of yourself, then you're going to be attracting in the wrong people. So shadow work's going to help you with that. Now the fourth one is deeper love, acceptance, and understanding of yourself. And that's just simply because you're looking at your past hurts and pains, and you're naturally just going to understand yourself better, and therefore you will have more love and acceptance, which is great, because having self-love is important. Your relationship with yourself is the foundation for all your relationships. So that's, a huge positive. Number 5 is it improves your relationships with others. It improves your relationship with others because, for 2 reasons. One, you're working on yourself, and you're digging into deep parts of yourself, and you're learning about yourself on all these other levels, and you may be looking at like the negative aspects of yourself. And like I said, awareness is key to transforming. So when you become aware of these things, that's when you can change and be a better person. So you're going to therefore show up in your relationships as a better version of you. But you're also going to notice or be more mindful of other people and their shadows just by doing your own shadow work. So number 6 is increased empathy and compassion. And that's the same sort of thing as what I was just saying, is like, you're going to have more empathy and compassion for yourself because you're getting to know yourself, and understanding yourself a lot better. But you're going to also have empathy and compassion towards others because you're just going to be more mindful that we all have a shadow. And, your friends and family and whoever's in your life, they all have their own shadows, and that they may not even be aware of it. They might not, you'll be more, I guess more advanced or more lucky just to be aware, whereas if they're not aware, you can't change anything you're not aware of, right? So if your friends aren't aware that they have a shadow and that they're projecting it, you're just going to naturally just have more empathy and compassion for them because of it, really. So number 7 you're going to have better mental and physical health. And this is because when we do shadow work, we can heal certain like parts of ourselves. And therefore, that's just going to result in having better mental and physical health. The 8th one is a clearer perception of the world. So perception is like, it's kind of like a choice. The way you look at things is a choice. And it's going to change the way, it'll change the way you see the world and the way you view things, but in a more positive type of way. Now, number 9 is increased creativity. And the cool thing is because, like I said, like you're digging into your past pains and your past traumas, you could, like, people channel that sort of pain into art. So that could, you know, you're going to increase your creativity, but you can also channel it, like take that pain and trauma and channel it into some sort of art form as well. So number 10 is awareness of toxic patterns you are repeating so you can change them. So I honestly believe, you know, it doesn't matter how good of a heart you have, I honestly believe everyone's got some type of toxic behavior or patterns, but some people are just worse than others. And I think that there's 2 different types of people in the world. There's people that know that they've got, you know, may have some sort of toxic behavior, but they're willing to work on it, like doing shadow work. They're willing to work on it so that they're a better version of themselves. And then there's toxic people who can't own up to their own toxic behavior. So you will become aware of your own patterns, and then you're able to change them. And like I said, you'll be showing up in the world as a better version of you. Now, number 11, the last one, is helps you to find the root cause of your problems and traumas. And we have to get to the root cause, because that's the only way you have a transformation. You can't change anything unless you get to that root. That's where you really, you know, that's where you really will make a difference. If it's like say you have a health issue and then you go to the doctor and they're giving you pills, and they're not actually sorting the health issue out. They're giving you pills to mask the health issue, but they're not getting to the root cause of that health issue, so nothing's going to really change. So that's what's great about that, doing shadow work and getting to the root of the problem. That's where you will have this transformation, and you will show up as a better version of you in this world, and therefore you're going to be a happier person, and it will raise your vibration to be in a higher state of being. And again, like when you're in this higher state of being, because whatever state of being you are in is a reflection you're going to get back in life. It's like the outer reality is just a mirror of what's going on inside. So we do the shadow work, and we're working, well, we're kind of like healing ourselves and working with our pains and traumas and kind of clearing this sort of stuff out. And so your state of being will change in a more positive way. And therefore, the reflection you get in the outer reality is going to mirror that new state of being. So you're going to have a better outer reality, a more positive outer reality. And so these are all the benefits that you're going to, you know, obviously end up getting by doing this work. So I really hope this video encourages you to think, you know, hey, this could actually be, you know, beneficial for me to do. And like, I think everyone in the world needs some form of healing. I think all of us have, you know, pains and traumas, but we've been brought up in a society where we haven't been taught how to actually deal with them properly. And I believe there's way too many mental health issues in the world as well. And so this is the sort of work we need to start doing on ourselves, start committing to do. And I mean, you don't have to pay anyone to do shadow work for you. Like, you can do it at home on your own, because I know it's can be costly going to counsellors and getting therapy to try and deal with your traumas and stuff. And I notice people that go to them and they've paid all this money, they don't have any changes or transformation. They don't, the counsellor or psychologist isn't doing anything for them except taking their money. So this is a more beneficial way of really, you know, digging deep and sorting this sort of stuff out for you. You know, you want to really, basically, you really want to like get your inner world in a really good place. That's the key here. Because whatever's going on in your outer reality, like I said, it's a mirror. So it's about the inner world. What's going on inside is going to be reflected outside. So naturally, you're just going to be in a better place in your inner world, and you're going to benefit. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. or write a comment. And if you like this sort of content, then subscribe and hit the bell notification. I hope I see you on the next video. Peace.